beer, and I need that beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's covered all the same ones right there.
Oh, yeah, we all got matching beers now.
I got that matching beer, and we got these matching things like that.
Mm-hmm. One for me, one for you, and one for Dad.
I have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
I need I need beer because beer helps me poop. I need beer to help me poop.
I don't know about that.
Welcome to Flyby Films. Once or twice a month, using the magic of distance-defined tubes or some shit like that, we get together to discuss films that either have been, will be, or you hope would be forgotten.
Ooh.
I'm Jamison Barsotti, and sitting next to me in this tiny little square is my friend Blake Collier, on the line from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
That's me. That's me.
On this episode, we are going to be talking about the 2016,
The 1916 film.
the 1916 film, the 2016 film Holidays, which, if you do remember, you probably remember for the reason we're going to be talking about it.
Exactly.
And you may want to forget about it. But
yeah.
here we are, bringing it back into the zeitgeist.
We can do no other.
Here we sit.
Here we sit. We can do no other.
Here we sit. I guess I could stand up my desk. It goes both ways. We don't have a guest today, so
I know.
just get up.
It's real disappointing.
Well, you know what? I was actually
Our guests are the best part of this podcast.
Okay. Real story. I feel like our best episodes are our guest episodes. However, today I was thinking about, we don't have a guest. I just get to bullshit with Blake on Easter Sunday. What a wonderful gift.
Yes.
So I was actually really pleased that that we didn't have a guest tonight. Not that I Seth was wonderful, who was our last guest, and I'm actually really looking forward to the next guest, who I think will be on the next episode. So, yeah.
If all works right.
No, no shade to the guests, but I was looking forward to just broing it out with you about Easter.
Yeah, we get to. We're actually recording on the evening of Easter, so we're actually going to be talking about. Well, we'll probably talk about one other vignette in this movie.
I want to touch on a few.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk on a few, but there's really only a couple that are like good.
There's one that's
not interesting.
There's one that's not good, but has a couple jokes that I don't feel like it deserves, but are funny nonetheless.
Are we talking about the Kevin Smith one?
No, that one
thank God.
Die in a hole.
Okay.
And I'll be clear. Have I enjoyed a couple Kevin Smith movies? Yes.
Yeah.
There are some good Kevin Smith movies. Do I think that Kevin Smith is a good filmmaker? No, I don't. And I think this is one of his worst things that he's ever made. So
yeah. It's if he's known as kind of a pointless filmmaker, this is by far one of the most pointless things he's ever made.
Mm-hmm.
So Holidays 2016, good concept. You would think that this would be a pretty common anthology theme, but it really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that holidays would be pretty smart, but this is one of the few, if there are any others, which I honestly can't think of any others that do this. But yeah, they go through the calendar, and they kind of pick out the key holidays and do vignettes that are tied to each holiday. Um, Good concept. Um, Terrible execution at times.
Yes, terrible at times. I Blake, I have a confession to make. I actually liked it more than I thought I was going to. Like
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
going in, I actually have some nice things to say about some of the other ones that we're not quote unquote covering in
Yeah,
this.
I actually think that no, I would agree with that. I would agree. On the whole, I think I have a better
Yeah.
impression of the movie as a whole. I will say that none, except for the two in my mind, the key ones, none of them feel fully fleshed out.
Yeah, I think the movie suffers as a whole, like from a couple things, which is the vignettes don't feel fully fleshed out. At the same time, I feel like some of them go too long.
Yeah,
Um, like it,
which is
I
funny
think,
because each one of them gets what, like 12 minutes, something like that.
yeah. Well, I wish it was like shorter. Like
Yeah.
give them all 5 minutes and cover more holidays.
Hmm.
Um, because I think they go from like Father's Day, which is in June, and they skip to Halloween, and I'm like, y'all are missing like Labor Day, and yeah, sure, maybe it was more global, but like, let's not kid ourselves. These were all
Yeah.
people in LA making
Yeah.
movies, you know.
Yeah.
So, and I think it ends on one of the worst ones, um, too, which isn't helpful. So,
Yeah. I think it's probably uh it's in the bottom half, but I think it's in
hmm
the middle of the bottom half.
yeah, okay,
Um I didn't mind it. I think it's pretty cliche. I don't think it was really well thought out. Um but I would be I'd be lying if I didn't like the characters. Kind of their the whole presentation of the characters is pretty great. Just kind of the whole, like, the dude is like very like unwashed, unkempt, like kind of
hmm
creepy, but also he acts like he's socially awkward in all the right ways.
hmm
And then the girl is like, you just don't give a shit, whatever. Um, but the twist, you see it coming from a mile away.
yeah,
It's not that hard. So
yeah,
um, in that way, it's not very well put together. But
yeah,
I'd be reticent to say that I didn't enjoy the kind of characterizations.
yeah.
Um, I
Anyway,
love that we're talking about all these things, and the audience has no idea
they
of
have
what
no
is going on
idea.
here.
So, yeah, just we'll get to the movie later. Blake, how was your Easter?
Oh man. Well, it's better now.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, yeah. Now that you have a
um,
nap.
yeah. Now that I have a nap, okay. So for those of our listeners who are not religious or don't come from a religious background, you have Holy Week, you have Good Friday, and you have Holy Saturday, which traditionally is when Jesus descends to hell or the dead, depending on how you want to phrase it, and he harrows it. It's called the harrowing of hell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I will say last night felt like a harrowing of some sort.
You were in Hades,
I
and
was in Hades.
yeah.
Yeah, my youngest, the typical routine these days is that we put two kids to sleep in my oldest bed at night, and then around the time that my wife and I go to bed, I go pick up my youngest and I carry him to um, our bed, or Melissa and I's bed. and then I sleep with him most nights. Well, he had a wet diaper, which was clearly somewhat coming through in his sleep sack. So we were like, well, we better change him, otherwise it's going to get worse. So that, generally speaking, will wake him up. And it did.
Mm-hmm.
No surprise. So we got him changed, everything. Normally, if we kind of get him a cup of milk and whatnot, he'll drink it and go back to sleep. So around 11:30 p.m. when we changed his diaper, we were like, I was nestling down to go to sleep with him, and that did not happen until 3:30 or 4 o'clock this morning because he refused to go back to sleep.
Ugh.
And so I was working the first half of the day. I was working on 3.5 hours ish. And then I finally got a nap with him this afternoon. So yeah, much better now. But yeah, I was a little grumpy this morning. I will fully admit that. But yeah, on the whole, I mean, Jesus is an OG. Like,
yeah,
he just rolled that fucking stone away and came out. He's like, "What up, guys? I'm here."
Christ is risen.
Like, he is risen indeed, like a gangsta.
Yeah, like a gangsta.
Yeah. So, how about yours?
It's good. Have I told you the
Lately that you love me? No, you haven't. But
have I told
that's
you
okay.
lately?
I feel it.
Have I told you Christ is not nasty? Have I told this story?
Christ is not nasty. No, I don't think so. If you have,
Okay.
I've forgotten it.
All right. Well, I'll tell it again if I haven't. One thing I have told you is that I'm Greek, right?
Yes.
So, in the Greek Orthodox Church,
And
and
that you're
then
Achilles Savalas' grandson.
yes, Telly Savalas' grandson.
Yep.
One of these things is the truth. One of them is a lie. I will let the listeners decide. Anyway, so in the Greek Orthodox Church, and then also cultural Orthodox people, on Easter, instead of saying Christ, he's risen indeed, you say Christos anesti, and you respond with Alithos anesti, and so that means Christ is risen, he is risen indeed, very
Yeah.
similar. And so as a child, I created a mnemonic device because I didn't speak Greek to help me remember these things. I don't know why you need that for like 2 sentences, but I was like, oh, this is. I was being a little dick, but like,
Oh, well,
but it was funny and it was good spirited. So I said, okay, well, Christ is not nasty, and then I would tell people to respond with all these toes are nasty because feet are real gross. So yeah
Christ is not
we
nasty. I
so
love it.
my siblings and I say that to each other during Easter time.
That's amazing.
And that's the background. I have another Easter story to Easter historical Jamie historical story.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom has two favorite Christian music songs, and she plays them at Christmas time and at Easter time.
Okay.
At Christmas time, whenever we call her, she always has the Rich Mullins song "You Gotta Get Up" ready,
Hey, I
and
love me some Rich Mullins.
you know, I actually both of these songs, I have to come clean and be like, they're kind of jams. They're
Yeah.
very niche in a certain way, but
Mm-hmm.
my mom could have chosen a lot worse.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
like,
She could have chosen the songs that my mom listens to.
and I don't know what those are. I'm not complaining about your mom, but like my mom is kind of a weirdo that likes these weird, very like forgotten pieces of stuff. Not that Rich Mullins is forgotten. I think he's well remembered, but this is kind of it's
At
kind
least
of a
within
niche.
niche Christian circles.
Yeah, I mean it's not Hillsong, it's not Bethel, it's kind of its own thing. It was like a few years back. But on her Easter song is actually really even more obscure. I don't know if you knew the artist David Meese. Does that ring
I
a
don't think
bell?
so, but I might know the
So
song.
so he has a song early in the morning, and it is a fucking epic 80s pop song. I don't think it was made in the 80s, but it should have been. And it's actually pretty great. You should listen to it
Okay.
when you get a chance. So it's called Early in the Morning by David Meese. And there's
Maybe
like
tomorrow morning when the kids are up, I'll blast it.
Dude, it is actually pretty blast worthy, and I think my mom would be very proud of me for saying that. But we used to live we lived in kind of this foothill mountainous area of California, Northern California, in the town of Paradise, and we were actually overlooking a canyon where we were at, and she would like just crank up the volume and blast it into the canyon every Easter. And
I love it.
so yeah, whenever I call her, she'll try to meese roll me with this song. So, but
Is that
I
because there's two of them? Was it originally David Mice or Mouse? David Mouse.
No, I think that was just his name. I have a memory. He was actually one of my first concerts because he came to Chico, and he's like a piano virtuoso. Really good at that. But like, I have a memory of going and like seeing him, and it was really loud, and I fell asleep. I was like
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5, and
Glad to
that
know things
just
don't change.
yeah, things don't change. But I I played that song for Hazel today, and I
Nice.
I, I gave him that whole
And did he
experience,
rock
and
it?
yeah, he was pretty into it. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah. I think. Okay. So piano virtuoso. That was David Meese.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, do you know a songwriter by the name of Fernando Ortega,
I remember that name. I don't
who was
think I could.
also a piano? I don't know if he was a virtuoso, but he was pretty dang good on the piano. Um, I saw him in Amarillo. He came during some tour or something, and
Okay.
when I was in like middle school, early high school, maybe. Um, and that was a hell of a good concert. I mean, I probably fell asleep. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
but I used to rock his. If y'all ever want to listen to it, pretty. Of course, haven't listened to it in years, so it may not actually be that good. But if you want to give it a shot, there's an album that he did called Home. That is, I recall it being one that I played pretty regularly. Uh, it was on rotation in our house quite often. So um, that and Jars of Clay because
hmm
those boys be rocking. Um, how did Hazel do on this fine Easter day?
He did all right. It's as you know, it's a balance between letting them have candy and
Mm-hmm.
giving them
Too much.
boundaries. Yeah. Um, so there's just it's just a minefield of sugar, which
Yep.
is fine, and I want my son to be able to enjoy that stuff, but like also he turns into a monster if he has too much. He also
Yeah.
turns into a monster if he doesn't get his way. So I don't. It's like which monster do you want to deal with? And it feels
He's
like
That's that
yeah,
age.
yeah,
Gotta love it.
yeah. But
No, we had the same problem
yeah, but
around
it's
Halloween and Easter. Are the two
yeah,
worst offenders.
yeah. With Halloween this year, we were still able to do like Kira did this thing where she was like, "Oh, the fairies are gonna come and take candy tax every night," and
Oh,
so
that's
we
funny.
just like and he wasn't too worried about it. I think he's going to be more worried about it this year for sure. But anyway,
I mean, have you introduced a dad tax to him?
I don't. The thing is, like, I like eating candy, but I like eating it, you know, over a long course of time, and
Yeah.
so I think it still needs to be like the dad tax is like a whole bunch gets taken away. Also, he doesn't like sharing with me anything, which I used to think was, oh, maybe I was like being too like, oh, I'll just grab this off your plate and I wasn't asking, but I started being very careful about that, and he still doesn't like I'll be like, "Hey, can I have some of the popcorn that you're having?" He's like, "No, I don't want to share with you." And I'm like, "Chill, dude. You have plenty of popcorn." So,
Did you take him to any egg hunts outside of like your backyard or whatever?
there were a couple, yeah. So we actually right before I logged on, we were at my neighbors because they were like, "Hey, our they have a son who's like a couple months older than Hazel, and then a daughter who's a couple years younger than them. And they were like, "We're gonna hide some." They had a bunch of eggs in like a leaf blower, and they like
Nice.
blew them out, and then yeah, it was pretty fun. Um, and so he was looking for eggs there. He was really funny because these ones were plastic, and so he
Hmm.
would like grab them and then open it up and then dump it all into his basket. So he wanted to
Gotcha.
see what was in all of them before, and I was like,
So he would pick one up, open it, and then okay,
yeah,
kind
make
of
sure
slows
it
down the
was
pace.
that they were all, it wasn't a race in this way. We actually had to stop him and be like, "Hey, like
Boy,
Lucy,
that is
yeah,
not the case with Seamus.
yeah,
Man, Seamus he's a scrapper. He will
yeah,
he will make sure his bucket is full.
that's good. That's exciting."
Owen, on the other hand, is a little bit reticent. He's like, this is a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not sure how I feel about that.
I did have to stop Hazel. I was like, wait for them to say go. He kept trying to grab the eggs, like, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we went to a egg hunt yesterday
Hmm.
that was at Guthrie Green, which is right across from the Woody Guthrie Center. Um,
Okay.
it's just a massive park. It doubles as uh, a venue for, yeah, I think Bon Iver is supposed to be here in a few
Okay.
weeks. Kick off the summer concert series of some sort. So, free concerts. Jillian Welch is supposed to be playing
Nice.
here soon. They just come by, and because it's Woody Guthrie, I mean, it's like this is a pretty significant like place. So
Mm.
I think most of them do a kind of a free concert, and whoever wants to come comes. And so, um, yeah, it's a pretty cool place. But we didn't realize at the time they were having a extravaganza. Ha ha ha. Um, and we didn't realize it, but the church that my wife and I first started going to when I moved to Tulsa was the one putting it on. We no
Mm.
longer go to that church for numerous reasons, because they're largely a mega church in all the worst ways. Um, and it was about as much of a clusterfuck as you would expect from a church like that. Uh, but it was funny in that, like, it was a funny story. It was annoying at the time because uh, you had the little kids doing an Easter egg hunt, but there's like shit tons of people there,
Mm.
and and whoever thought parents would do this, but the general practice is you just send the kids in for a free for all.
Mm.
No, the
Yeah.
fucking parents started going in. Like I was like, what? Like not that they were picking up, but they were like taking pictures of their kids and whatnot. I'm like, dude, there's not enough fucking room for this.
Yeah.
And so Owen and my wife were just standing back there. Owen didn't get jack shit during the whole thing. Seamus just disappeared in the crowd and like got his bucket full because that's what he does.
That's good.
And yeah, it was a cluster.
You should have traded out Owen's basket to Seamus and been like, go
Exactly.
again,
Go
go
back in.
again.
Go back in. Yeah. So not the best Easter egg hunt we've been to.
Yeah.
But our church put one on after service today. It took all of like probably 3 minutes to get it done, which is the way it honestly should be. But and all the parents stayed off the field. Huh. Imagine that.
Hey. Yeah. Hazel did one yesterday. But it was like a friend's parents. I was actually sick yesterday, so I didn't get to go, but I saw pictures. I know. I was actually really mad about that. So
why were you? How were you sick? Did you have poops?
No,
Did you have vomits?
Congestions and head shit.
Was it just a 24-hour thing?
It was actually like an all-week thing, and then it hit its stride on Friday night and Saturday morning, and then I was feeling better today. But yeah,
that's good.
But yeah, so do you think the kids had a good Easter?
Oh yeah, I think so. We ended it off with watching the first 40 minutes of Prince of Egypt. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Because that's a hella good movie.
Yeah.
They'd never seen it before, and I remember really loving it when I saw it when I was in like, I guess I was early high school when it came out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
it's good stuff.
I feel like Prince of Egypt's like that was because okay, so you have Disney, then you had like Don Bluth, and you've got some of these like art styles, and then here comes like DreamWorks, and it looks different. It's finally like something that looks different, and it was good and like well made, and they like they put a bunch of shit into it to make it good. And then I think they made one more movie and started making CGI slop after that.
Yeah.
So like only like I think Prince of Egypt came out, I think after Shrek
99.
probably. So
that was 99. It was the second animated film by DreamWorks. The first was Ants, which no one really remembers.
Yeah. Well, I think unfortunately too that one has like Woody Allen as the main ant. So like okay.
Yeah. Shrek was 2001. I actually looked this up because my wife was like, "Is this the first DreamWorks animated movie?" I was like, I don't think it's the first, but I think it's up there. And sure enough, it was second.
Yeah, and then I think the only other like complete because there's some CGI in Prince of Egypt, but like it's not you wouldn't describe it as a CGI movie. But like I think the only other one that I can remember is Road to El Dorado.
Yeah,
that had
some
substance, and that had a similar style. So I'm sure that the same people who worked on Prince of Egypt
they made you knew that they made a follow up to Prince of Egypt that was straight to video.
About
Joseph.
Oh,
it's like Prince of Dreams or something like that. And if you read the most recent Three Brothers film newsletter, they talk about it being like the older brother of Prince of Egypt, and that it's pretty well done, even if it's straight to video. So I'm kind of intrigued. I almost kind of want to watch it after we finish Prince of Egypt, see if it's as good. Apparently, it was supposed to be like they were going to make a series of them, and the straight to video one just didn't do quite as well. So I remember Prince of Egypt was huge though when it came out.
This one came out.
Music's really good in it too.
Yeah, this one came out pretty soon after in 2000, the year 2000. Yeah, it's crazy that that they weren't able because Ben Affleck is in it. It's crazy that they weren't able to get this into like theater. So
I don't know what happened, But yeah, we watched 40 minutes of that, and then my wife is probably still currently in the bedroom trying to get Owen back to sleep. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
but he did take a long nap, so that's part of it.
that's good. Yeah, but bless Melissa for giving us the
Yes.
space.
Yes. Yes.
To do this.
She is she is a fan of the Barsodis for sure.
Oh, we are a fan of
So
her.
otherwise she'd be like, screw that, go in there.
So this is why you're still in a podcast with me, because this is the only podcast that your wife lets you do because she likes
this
us.
is outside of the occasional guesting on other podcasts. This is the only podcast I do regularly. Yes.
And it's for that reason. It's because this is the only one you're allowed to do. You can't branch out from me.
I don't know if it's the only one I'm allowed to do.
No,
it's the only one I feel I can actually do.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I mean, she'd probably bitch slap me if she found out I was going to start another podcast, honestly. But
yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a decent Easter overall by the end of it. So yeah, no complaints here.
Yeah.
Did y'all do some tarot to end it off?
No. Kira probably did. I don't know. Kira probably did.
Check things out.
Let's save our tarot talk for
next time.
For next time.
You heard it here, folks. We're gonna have some tarot talk.
We are gonna have some tarot talk.
We may have a new segment on the show called Tarot Talk from here on out.
No, that'll be on Flyby Cards.
Flyby Cards.
Yeah.
So let's get into the movie, bro.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Yeah. Do we want to briefly talk about all the others that we are not as big on, or not as? Should we give a description of these?
Yeah. So let's maybe be a little more like structured, professional, and let's say so I think I can list all the holidays that are covered. So it does the vignettes in kind of not chronological. I mean, essentially chronological, but like the structure of the calendar and chronology. Yes. But like it starts with what's the first major holiday other than New Year's, because it's going to end with New Year's. The first major holiday. It's not President's Day.
Valentine's
Day. So it does Valentine's Day. Then it moves on to St. Patrick's Day. Then it moves on to Easter, which is what we are covering tonight. So we're going to table that. Then it goes to Mother's Day, Father's Day, and then there's a big skip to Halloween.
Well, it's ordinary time.
It's sure, fine. It's summer. We've got holidays. There's Halloween, and then they skip Thanksgiving again. Like, just
that's because no one likes it, except for you.
Fuck off. And then it goes to Christmas, and then New Year's ends with New Year's. So the big one that we're going to talk about is Easter. So we're tabling that for now. Blake, other than Easter, what are your like two favorites, I guess?
Other than Easter, I'd say Father's Day, and let's see here. Man, you know what? Like, man, this is the hard part about it, is that there are interesting ideas going on in some of these, but they don't like build them out enough for me. I like the folky horrorness of St. Patrick's Day, but I don't feel like it goes anywhere.
Okay, I definitely want to talk about that one.
So yeah, I mean, like outside just pure enjoyment, I'm gonna have to say New Year's Eve. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it's cliche, and you know where it's going from the first moment. But I don't know. I still kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, St. Patrick's Day I thought was a really cool concept. But by the end, I'm like, what?
I definitely have a couple issues with St. Patrick's Day. But yeah, so I think you and I both kind of agree that Father's Day is one of the most interesting ones here,
Mm-hmm.
and just well done. It's creepy. It leaves it. There's a lot of like atmospheric elements
Mm-hmm.
and like
It leaves a lot of
thematic
questions, but not
thematic
the worst
yeah
kind.
thematic elements that like seem to make sense but don't really tie together because they've only got like 12 minutes but
Yeah,
kind of linger in the best possible ways.
yeah.
I was actually curious, so the guy who did that, Anthony Scott Burns,
Mm-hmm.
he I guess he made a couple other movies after that, and I was wondering if you had ever seen any of them.
You know, I remember. Let's see here. I'm looking.
So he
Uh,
did Our House was his first one,
yeah, I
and
never
that
saw that one. I never
and
saw it
then
come true. I
and then
feel
Come
like
True, yeah.
I probably saw, well, he was just cinematographer on it, but he did Darknet, and I have a vague memory of that show, so I
Yeah.
probably saw that one. But yeah, I don't think I've seen most of these, if any.
So I was reading up on Our House, and apparently it's a remake of a movie called Ghost from the Machine that
Okay.
that actually, if you look at the Wikipedia article about the production, it sounds like it was just kind of a mishmash of things.
Uh-huh.
And the person who was originally meant to direct it was actually the guy who did St. Patrick's Day,
Oh,
um,
that's funny.
for Our House. Yeah, but yeah, it sounds like this guy actually left the project before it was actually released. Anthony Scott Burns, and so his next movie, Come True, it sounds like this one was actually kind of a final movie where he was finally able to get his vision out. And it just sounds interesting. And I guess it was
Yeah, it
pretty
did
well
sound
received.
it actually made me want to watch it when I read
Yeah.
the description of it. It sounds pretty cool. And
Yeah.
honestly, the if you read the other one that you mentioned that he did, the remake, it
hmm
actually sounds pretty fun too.
It it sounds fun, but apparently he
It's just a
has
complete
has
mess.
distanced himself from the final
That's funny.
product and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm interested in this Come True movie because of this, and I think again I felt similarly about Father's Day. It's just it's good, it's creepy, it is no, you don't really know what genre you're in other than horror. Um, and yeah,
And it's got Jocelyn Donahue as the main actress, who
yeah,
was in House of the Devil.
House of the Devil, yeah.
And do you know who the voice of the dad was?
I can, yeah, it's
It's
Michael
Michael
Gross.
Gross from
Tremors.
Tremors.
Uh, I will say, the most unsettling thing about this is that he sounds uh like a uh, like a Siri
Kind of, yeah, he
throughout the
does.
movie.
Uh huh.
Um, but like a dark series, because he's just very, very robotic in his presentation, and he's just a narrator. Like, he's just a voice. They don't ever
But
show him.
it's robotic, but there's still like this weird warmth to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like you would expect a father to have when talking to his daughter.
Yeah.
Because there's like this weird, like almost time travel aspect going on, but also the
There's
ending
time.
makes
Yeah.
it's
There's
like
time travel. There's like some sort of vampiric thing. There's
yeah,
religion. There's astrology happening, or
yeah,
astronomy happening slash astrology. There, it it does a really good job of building a lot of elements and packing a pretty good punch. And it doesn't have any like gore. There's no violence on screen.
yeah.
Um,
No, it's all tension. That's all it is.
yeah.
And I remember like when we first talked about doing this episode, uh, before we had rewatched it, we were like, we wanted, of course, to talk about Easter, but yeah, I think you were the one who brought up. Do you remember that one with the girl with the tape recorder or something like that? Blah blah. Blah? I was like, no, dude, seriously, that's the only other one in that movie I think about from time
Yeah.
to time, uh, and it for just all the reasons you've mentioned already. Like it's pretty powerful. I mean, it does it all come together? No, but I think it's what it does best is it's not as interested in those aspects. That's just
Hmm.
window dressing. What's really driving the plot is this connection between the father and the daughter and
Hmm.
what that leads her to. And that's the most chilling part. Um, but yeah, no, I really liked it.
Yeah. And
Nothing flashy either.
yeah. And I think for me, the second one, um, I think I think I like uh both Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day a little bit. Um,
I thought Valentine's Day was a good payoff.
yeah, I think Valentine's Day actually has a full short film concept,
Yeah.
um, which I think I really liked that and
Yes.
liked seeing that. And it's interesting, and maybe it suffers from being the first one because you don't like think about it when you're at the end as much.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think, for some reason, it hasn't stuck with me, but I did find myself kind of enjoying that. St. Patrick's Day,
Yeah,
I think
this is the one that this is the elephant in the room right here.
this one suffers from uh basically like shooting its sh- shooting its scary load way early when she's sitting with this uh doctor or nurse, and the
Yeah.
nurse is like, "Have you ever seen Rosemary's Baby?" She's like, "Yeah." Well, you've basically got Rosemary's Baby, but it's a reptile. And then it's like, oh, where are we going to go from here? And the thing is, the short finds a way to go somewhere else that you're not expecting, but none of it
Hmm.
makes sense. None of it ties together or means anything.
Yeah.
Um, and I think maybe that's the most frustrating thing, is it just doesn't. It probably doesn't mean anything, and there's not really anything scary at that point other than how batshit everything is. Maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
especially because you have the quote unquote father, who is like an Elvis impersonator or something.
no, Danny Zuko.
Danny
Uh,
Zuko. Yeah.
yeah, from the movie
And
Grease.
yeah. And and then you have this weird like massive snake with like the fakest black eyes ever. Like just like
Well, and Danny Zuko wig on it,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably the second strangest image in this whole movie.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the first most striking image in this movie later, but yeah.
I found it. I mean, so the concept, like I said, the concept here is sound. Like if they had actually maybe taken themselves a little bit more seriously,
Yeah.
the concept is good because traditionally speaking, Saint Patrick, tossed all the snakes out of Ireland. Well,
Hmm.
okay, it would make sense then that there's a group of pagans who are trying to bring the snake population back into Ireland. Like it makes sense. Like it's actually a pretty cool concept. Um, but then they throw in this like weird like second rate Sam Raimi esque like batshit craziness at the end, and you're like, yeah, no, this needed to be a little bit more Wicker Man and less less I don't know what. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think in this, yeah, the director tries to throw in like so much more, and it doesn't work, as opposed to like in Father's Day, there's all these like little atmospheric elements that
mhm,
do kind of add to the storytelling. It felt like there were interesting things that were kind of thrown in that were distracting from
yeah.
the main, whatever the main thing was trying to be.
Honestly, they could have just cut off the final like field scene and
Hmm.
it would have improved the short significantly because one of the most terrifying aspects watching that short was seeing they would put the days of her pregnancy on,
Hmm.
and at one point it's like 353 days, and you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
holy shit. So you're just, and yeah, I don't know what the life, what the birth cycle of a snake is, how many days it's like they're pregnant or anything like that, but uh, that's a pretty terrifying thing to be
Hmm.
pregnant that long. Um,
Yeah.
and then having the bathtub scene where the snake comes out, like I think that would have been a perfectly good, reasonable ending, and I think it would have been fine, and it would have been this kind of like one-off, like weird, uh, and maybe show a shot of the pagans dancing out on the field or
Hmm.
something,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know, like, but you don't have to do like the whole Danny Zuko hair on the snake thing. Come on now.
Yeah. Um, I I do want to give kind of a call out to one other, like Christmas. I actually liked a little bit more this time.
Uh huh.
It it was it's maybe kind of forgettable, but actually I think I want to give a call out to Seth Green because
Hmm.
I think he kind of sells it in this
Well,
way.
it's really in his wheelhouse as an actor,
Hmm.
like that kind of like claustrophobic, like just scared kind of nerd dude,
Hmm.
um, who doesn't really have a backbone, but also like is like a like fated to be the person who gets stepped on at every chance.
Yeah. I
Like
think
that's the part he always plays.
I think this one has one of the best twists of,
Yeah.
and I guess I want to call out like for that. So it's about a virtual reality object that like shows you your greatest desires, or and maybe this is its weakness. I'm not exactly sold on how it works
No.
because it's not just your greatest desires. It's also like your darkest um, kind of actions,
Deviancy, deviancy or
deviancy.
something. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's not like a whole lot of consistency on how you can tell if something has happened before
Yeah.
versus not. But it's short. Okay, forgive it some of this like logical inconsistency.
Yeah.
But you can see kind of these like inner workings of yourself, and it turns out he brings it into his family, and he has to do a kind of dastardly deed in
Mm-hmm.
order to get it. And throughout the movie or the vignette, he's feeling guilty about that, and you think like he's going to be caught out for something, terrible,
Yeah.
and there's like a leak in the object where people can start seeing like he's starting to see his son's things, his wife's
Mm-hmm.
things, and so you're starting to see these cracks form. And then the twist is he puts it on and he sees what his wife did, and she's just serial killer
Yeah.
sociopath. um, and yeah, and and then it kind of ends, and I feel like it ends in a good place.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you're right. Yeah. The movie has a lot of really good ideas, and I wrote about this last week. I kind of re-updated a piece that I'd
Hmm.
written on Easter before, but the idea that like it's for some reason anthology horror films are really difficult to put together in a way that's successful. And I think the bigger the better the concept is, the less likely it is they're going to execute it. I
Hmm.
don't know why that is. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of really cool ideas going on in this movie, and yet I think if I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, it's they run into a time problem.
Hmm.
Um, I think their concepts are more need to be more built out, and they're requiring more time to actually do them justice than just 12 minutes or however long they've got for each one of these. Which is telling is that the ones we do like um, are able to succeed on some level at
Hmm.
using the time effectively and telling a story, or at least a tone poem, if nothing else.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I think I would agree. I think this is it's increased in its positivity in my book on this
Yeah.
viewing
That
as a
being
whole.
said, um, you can absolutely skip both Mother's Day and Halloween.
Yeah, Mother's Day is the most. I don't understand it. Like I don't
Uh,
I, I
this
don't
one's
comprehend why this had to exist.
this one is um, disappointing to me because it's actually kind of an interesting concept of someone who gets pregnant every time they have sex. Um,
Regardless of how many condoms they put on, or like I think at
yeah,
one point she says she put 3 condoms on her husband
yeah,
and she still got
yeah,
pregnant.
and she still got pregnant. Um, and then the idea of like going to kind of a fertility clinic again, like there's these logical leaps, and then it just kind of fizzles out a little bit. There's something creepy at the end, but the
Something
writer,
creepy that doesn't make any sense in my opinion. Like I was like, okay, like why should this be like why should I fear this first off, and why
yeah,
is this the inevitable conclusion to your story? Like
yeah, and the writer and director Sarah Adina Smith. I have liked some movies that she's done. She did the Midnight Swim,
yeah, I've
and
heard good things about that one.
which is just kind of a weirdo movie. I think what's her name is in it. Uh, Beth Grant is in it,
Oh,
and
that's great,
yeah,
great.
and then she also did a movie called Buster's Malheart, which is
Uh-huh.
kind of a weird time travel movie that again it doesn't all like fit together, but I really liked it. I've seen it a couple times, and
Okay.
I'm actually a big fan of that.
That's got Rami Malek in it, right?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I would say out of the things that I've seen, uh, Mother's Day is the weakest thing. for sure.
Oh, it's got DJ Qualls in it. I'm gonna have to definitely watch that then. I'm a big DJ Qualls fan. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah. And then we already talked about how terrible Halloween is. It's just
it doesn't. We don't even need to mention it.
It's Kevin Smith doing his worst. It's like him doing an impression of a Kevin Smith scene and not even doing it successfully and fun.
Yeah. Nothing even like remotely interesting or redemptive about it. It's yeah. So Easter, Jamison, tell me. I seem to remember you not liking this the first time you saw it, or at least being confounded by it, if not disliking it.
I think Easter is a very mean and terrifying and kind of weird in the ways of the central image and special effects is intentionally, and it's weird that I'm like complaining about this. I'm not actually trying to complain about this, but it's intentionally disgusting and in a very unique way. And it also, like, kind of that cliche, like, oh, you shouldn't show the monster. Like this definitely it shows your monster and kind of makes you focus on it, which I think is part of the decisions here. And I think when I first saw it a while back, I was like, I don't know what is going on. And it's 12 minutes, so it's like it happens, it's done, you're not thinking about it, you're moving on to something else. And I was like, I'm not into that. And then again, the question of like thinking about it afterwards, you writing a piece.
I'm not into that.
Yeah. You write a piece. Well, it's really funny because I was like, this is like the nightmare version of the Santa Claus, which is already kind of a nightmare scenario too.
Yeah.
If you think about it. But that movie, has 90 more minutes and 2 sequels to convince you that Tim Allen went on to have a great life as Santa Claus. So I think reading your piece and thinking about this more critically as like, no, you're supposed to be turned off by these things. Like, it's not, of course, like, it's horror. Like, you're not supposed to enjoy it. And so, I think when I first watched it, maybe I was just I just want to turn my mind off, enjoying this sort of phase. And it's not really enjoyable, but it is striking and it is actually pretty scary. But you're not scared for yourself because this doesn't exist. You are scared for, I think, as a parent watching it and being scared for the child was almost more terrifying this time. So
yeah,
Blake,
I don't know. I don't know what it was about this one, because I remember when I first watched this movie, the one other time I've watched it besides this last couple of days ago when I rewatched it. This one, for whatever reason, just struck a chord. I think you're right, and I called it out in the piece then, and I call it out. I continue to call it out in this piece. It is blasphemous. I mean, to a T. But what I talk about in the piece is that blasphemy in art is meant to be self-reflective. What is it about us that is being reflected to us. And so that's kind of what that's why I take as my jumping off point. And I kind of dig into it and like, why are we seeing this, this amalgamation of like this Easter bunny and this Christ figure. What is going on here? And I mean, there's no other. I don't think there's any other way to read it than to see it as, well, there's this massive confusion, at least in our country, and probably in some European countries, around this weird like mixture of religious tradition and secular or pagan tradition around Easter. And so I think the key to the story is the opening conversation between the daughter and the mother. And the daughter, rightfully so, is like, so tell me again, like, why is the Easter Bunny and Jesus dying on the same day? Like, trying to parse it out, figure it out, and kind of figure out why, like, these two things specifically are tied together on this one day. And I was really taken by that conversation. And I didn't have kids at the time, but it felt realistic in my mind. Because that's exactly the kind of questions a kid would ask. Is like, why are these two things together? Like my oldest son is obsessed with patterns. He'll see something that happens over and over again, and he'll be like, "That's a pattern." And I'll be like, "Yeah, that's exactly right." And so whenever you see a break in a pattern, you get these church holidays, and then all of a sudden you hit Easter, and there's this like weird like other story being told at the same time, and you're like, why? And so I was like, okay, well, that's where I kind of went with the piece. I was like, this is an interesting concept. Like, let's dig into it a little bit. Whether or not I successfully did, that's another thing. But apparently, I did something, because I feel like I at least shifted the way you viewed it on some levels.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely made me kind of revisit it again. And I remember kind of being put off by the blasphemy of it at the time, and then you were like, "No, let's consider it a little bit more." Like, you don't need to be afraid of the blasphemy, because, yeah, in this case, that's exactly right. Like, it is kind of a blasphemy that
Mm-hmm.
like, the blasphemy comes from the fact that we have egg hunts at church, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's already there. It's already kind of embedded in how we celebrate these things.
And it's not even like, and I tiptoe around this. I think this
Yes.
is, if I were to pick a part of my piece, my original piece, that I think is a little bit soft shoeing, but I don't have a problem with egg hunts. I don't have a problem with any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think the bigger question is like, what is like what is behind the egg hunts? Like, what is the story? What is the grand narrative behind the Easter Bunny and the egg hunts and
Hmm.
whatnot? If it was actually like, if they were following the actual like pagan roots of the Easter Bunny and Ostra and
Hmm.
all that other stuff, then I would have less concerns. Um, but there's this weird like, they ripped it out of pagan thought even, and they kind of put this like
Hmm.
commercialism uh, element to it, and I'm like, that's where we get into problems, because it's no longer concerned with a grand narrative. It's concerned with profit. It's concerned with
Hmm.
selling something, which I would say religious traditions, whether it's pagan or the monotheistic religions or the non, like Buddhism or whatever the religious tradition you come from, there's the ultimate goal is meaning.
Hmm.
And you know, if you then switch to profit as your main concern, then you lose meaning. You lose the grand narrative. You have succumbed to, I think, the worst or the greatest of all evils. And so yeah, I mean, if we had the grand like pagan, you know, minority in the country that celebrated Easter in their own way, I'd be like, all right, that's cool, whatever. But we don't. We're not even completely concerned. Like, we're not even completely convinced that of the pagan story behind Easter. There's a lot of different. If you go down the wiki rabbit hole, you'll find that there's a lot of discrepancies. Yep, exactly. So yeah, it's. I think it's more the issue of like commercializing things. And then you lose meaning.
Yeah. So what do you take? Because I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about it after watching this, and then like there's a bit. Okay, so going back to kind of the Santa Claus aspect of it, and when I say Santa Claus, I mean the Tim Allen movie where he kills Santa and he has to take his place. That's actually like a central point of the story, and it's interesting because that conversation with the girl and the mom, like, it foreshadows everything that happens. Like, what if I need to get a glass of water? Oh, you can get a glass of water. What if I see him? Oh, you're not going to see him. Don't worry about it. But these are the exact things that she learns she has to worry about. And she sees this. I guess we should just come clean. Like, if you haven't seen this, it is Christ Bunny. So it is, but it's not. It's like worse than either of those. It is like a fleshy crown of thorns,
Pierced
CGI
side.
eyes, pierced side. Like, you clearly know that it's this man bunny Christ figure
In a loincloth.
Yeah, that is the Easter bunny, and I think you're absolutely right that this like symbolizes this like weird bastardization of all of these things swirling up. But what's interesting is there's like almost a conversion story going on too. And this is what sticks with it, is like he like and there's something creepy about it too. Like, he forces her to touch his wounds. He echoes. She's like, "You're not real," and then he's like, "Oh, you're a doubting Thomas. Like, let me touch me."
Shoves her hand into his side wound, and
yeah, and that's it's so uncomfortable. But then he says, "Once you've seen me, you have to take my place."
Yeah.
And that's chilling, because that's weirdly what true faith is supposed to be in Christianity. Like, once you really see the truth, once you know this thing exists, you can't turn back. And she's like, "Oh, can I see my mommy again? You'll never, you have to give
you'll
up
never see your mommy again."
And Christ tells people to leave their family behind.
Yeah, leave their family and leave their mom and dad, and
and it ties together so much of that like I get, if you show this to James Dobson, I mean, he's not going to care. He's not going to care anymore. But if you did, when he was still alive,
Yeah.
but he probably would have wanted to burn it.
Yeah.
But
Oh, easily.
but but like I think you get it right where like okay, if you look up the guy who did this, Nicholas McCarthy, I think he's
Mm-hmm.
made a few other movies, but it says he was born into a Catholic family. Like this stuff is in his bones. Like
Yep.
and it's honestly not wrong about a lot of things.
Yeah.
It presents religion in a decent light, and I don't actually think that from like a cosmic sense of things, I don't think that the Easter Bunny Jesus man is necessarily like evil. It's
No.
just terrifying.
He just is.
He just is. Yeah, and that's honestly, there's ways to read the Bible where that's the feelings you get too.
Yep.
So it's
Oh yeah.
it's not wrong. It's just uncomfortable. Yeah. So
Well, yeah, we're uncomfortable with discomfort. I mean,
mhm.
like, and that's where I don't know. I mean, I think at the time I was just trying to. I will say when I first wrote the piece, when I first watched this, I was like, this is clearly the most like grotesque,
Mhm.
blasphemous piece in this whole like movie.
Mhm.
Um, and I do recall at the time, around that time, I was big into the whole let's find like these really disgusting pieces and try to find
Mhm.
what is the redemptive quality in it. Like
Mhm.
what is going on? It's partly me just being me. I like to be the guy who's like, yeah, but if you look at it this way, like um, and I was like, I think at the time I was just trying to find the through line, the not positive through line, but some sense of meaning in it, something that I could ultimately take away from it,
Mhm.
and I think there is power in the imagery of the bunny man, and that you it echoes the conversation the mom has with the daughter,
Mhm.
and it shows that like the kids are right, man. Like whenever they call that shit out, they're
Mhm.
calling it out because it doesn't make sense. We've only made sense because we do some kind of like weird like rationalization in our adult brain or compartmentalization in our adult brain to make it happen or to make it work. But they're right. Like it doesn't jive. So what do you do with that? Like what do
Yeah.
you do with that childlike provocation? Um, and that's what I like about it. Like that's ultimately what works for me with this is that if nothing else, like the kid, the kids are doing all right.
You're doing all right. I mean, they're not all right. Uh she turns into a bunny person by the end, but
But I mean, that may not be the worst thing. I
again,
don't know.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, she had her conversion. She
Yeah, literally took of the body, sort of
yeah. Yeah,
the Easter egg. Yeah.
the Easter
Um,
body.
yeah. So yeah, it's provocative in all the right ways, I think,
Yeah.
and it has some pretty great imagery in it.
Yeah.
Uh, Off-putting, yes, but um, the right kind of imagery for the story it's trying to tell, I think.
Mhm. Yeah. It's yes, it's very disturbing. It's worth looking up on the internet probably, but
Yeah, unless
if
you
you're in,
have, yeah, if you're into this kind of stuff, then I would recommend watching it. But if it's a little bit too much for you, I get it.
yeah.
I've got this. So I've got a group of friends at my workplace. They're all younger than me, all women. I'm the old man that yells at the sky in the group, and I constantly bring up the fact that I've seen a Serbian film because they're all horror adjacent people.
Yeah.
And so I'll just bring it up casually every so often, and they'll just get so angry at me, whatnot. I'm like,
Well, have they
it's
seen
actually
it,
not that
or
bad. It's fine.
have they seen it, or
No,
are they just okay?
no, they
I've
haven't
never
seen it.
seen it, and I really haven't wanted to. So
It's fine. It is. I mean, it's
yeah,
fine. Whatever. It's not
yeah,
even great, like provocation. Honestly, I think it's a better film than like Human Centipede or some stupid shit like that. But
yeah. I
um,
haven't seen that either. I think Human Centipede
I
did
saw the first one.
its
But
yeah. I think it did its job by just existing, and now we
yeah,
all know what the Human Centipede is. So
yep, yep.
okay,
Trick is you want to be at the front of the line.
yeah, yeah. Just like the Human Centipede, just like the movie.
Oh man. Yep. Good times. Good times. Um, is it blasphemous to talk about blasphemy on Easter?
No, it's not
Okay, that's
blasphemous.
cool. Hey, I'm gonna take your word for it. I just don't want to get smote tonight.
You know what? I think if you're an all powerful being and you make belief in you as much of an enigma as God has, you got to have thick skin to deal with
Oh yeah,
blasphemy. And
and a sense of humor.
this is my take on this is if you're going to give us all of these fucking emotions, this is my problem of pain. You just have to have thick skin. Come on. And then my solution to that problem of pain is that I think God does, and I think this stuff is fine. So, um, you know,
I keep thinking back to the book of Job, the final
mhm.
scene where God finally shows up and he's like, "Who do you think you are?"
Yeah, yeah, and and I think there's going to be a lot of that happening, and in the end, and that's fine too, because yeah, I mean, but at the same time, we've got a lot of freedom to crack jokes and
Oh
uh,
yeah,
create fun bunnies, um,
fun bunnies,
fun
fleshy
buns,
bunnies,
flesh.
flesh buns.
I think it's the ears. It's the
Yeah,
ears
the
that
ears
just
are.
continue into the head and don't. It's hairless,
Yeah,
except it's
except
got
for the
like
weird like
the
line of
chest hair.
hair on its,
Oh,
but it's only got a line of chest hair. Like it
it's
ends after that,
yeah. It was it was
and the way it scuttles across the floor. Yeah,
yeah.
that's that's some good shit right
And
there.
it just seems like it's just not enjoying anything. um
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It is. It goes down as one of my favorite all time anthology horror vignettes. It's one I
Yeah,
think about a
shorts.
lot. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, good stuff. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything more about holidays.
Um, yeah, if you, I mean, it's worth a watch. I think skip over the Halloween one. I think it's the one that has no value whatsoever.
Mhm.
Um, but everything else, it's. I mean, I would watch it simply for Easter and Father's Day, and
Yeah,
the first part of St. Patrick's Day and Valentine's Day is pretty fun, especially with
Valentine's Day has a
the
good
ending.
payoff.
Yeah, it's a good payoff. A good payoff that I've forgotten about and didn't see coming.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive because it's right there in front of your face the whole time, but you're you're involved in the story at hand, and you're like, what in the world is going on?
It's a little slow, and the pacing is off in it a little bit, but yeah, it's a good payoff. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you could probably just watch. You could probably find streams of the good ones or the ones you think are interesting from this podcast.
Yeah,
and that's fine. But yeah.
Good stuff. All right, that's all I got.
All right, same. Bye.
All right, bye.